I want to make use of square instead of bullet. I'll specify the type as square. So this is how you can make use of attributes to define additional characteristics for your tag. To create your very first web page, all you need is a browser and a code editor. So we are using Google Chrome over here and VS Code as our code editor. We will create a new file by clicking on this new file icon. In order to create any HTML page, you can give it any name and it should end with a HTML extension. And let's type exclamation and hit tab, and this will give you a template for a standard HTML document. So we'll come to line number 8 and we'll just write, yay, this is our first HTML page. Let's save this. We'll take this file from here and drag it to our browser's address bar and hit enter, and you see your very first HTML page over here. Now let's understand the structure of a HTML page. At the top level, we have the doc type. This is a declaration. When we say doc type HTML, it tells the browser that you need to use the latest version of HTML, that is HTML5, and process the document as per the specification for HTML5. Let me collapse all of these tags over here. So at the top level, we have the HTML tag. It is also known as the root tag. All HTML documents begin with this tag. In order to write a tag, you specify the opening angle bracket, the name of the tag, and you close it with this. So this is known as the opening tag, and then you have something known as the closing tag, and in between the tag you can have other tags. So this is also known as a nested tag, that is one tag within another tag, right? So head and body tag are nested within the HTML tag. The head tag contains information about your web page, that is, it contains the title of the website. So if you hover over here, this has the title document which we have specified over here. Suppose we change it to my first page. Let's save this and do a reload of our page. Now when we hover over here, this tab shows the title my first page. And it also has additional tags which are known as meta tags. So meta tags convey some more information about this website. So here we have the meta tag for char set. It tells which character set needs to be used for this website. We're using UTF-8 because it has a good support for a variety of languages. And here we have another meta tag which is called viewport. So it will scale the contents of your website depending on where you're viewing it. If you're viewing it on desktop, it will scale it properly. If you're viewing the same website on mobile, it will display the contents properly. So that is what this meta tag is used for. Then we have the body. So whatever you write within the body, that is visible on the page, right? We'll learn about some new tags right now. So there are different tags available in HTML which you can use to add headings. In order to add a large heading, you can make use of the h1 tag. All right, so you just hit tab and VS Code will complete the tag for you. And inside the tag, you specify the content. So this is heading 1. Me save this. Let's refresh our page so you can see the heading tag over here. To add a heading smaller than this, we can make use of the h2 tag. This is heading 2. You can see this over here. So we have heading tag of different sizes, right from h1 to h6. So h6 is the smallest heading tag. This is the smallest heading. Now let's add a paragraph. For that, we make use of the p tag. This is a paragraph. Suppose we want to add a list. When we want to add a numbered list, right, or an ordered list, we can make use of the OL tag. And to add items in this list, we make use of the list item tag. So let's add a list of fruits. Let me make use of the h4 tag over here and give it the heading fruits. And suppose I want to display a list of fruits, apple, orange, kiwi, right? So you can see the ordered list over here. It's using numbers, right? And suppose you want to add an unordered list. Suppose you want to add a bulleted list, so we'll make use of the UL tag, which is for unordered list, and we'll add list items over here. So suppose I want to add a list of vegetables, we'll add another h4 tag over here. We'll give it the heading vegetables, and suppose we want to add French beans, potatoes, and onions. So this gives you an unordered list. So you can add an attribute to a tag, just like how we have added over here. This is an attribute, char set name is an attribute, lang is an attribute. So this lang attribute is telling that the language for this website is going to be English. So this is helpful for search engines such as Google. Similarly, for the ordered list tag, there is a type attribute. Suppose we want to make use of lowercase alphabets, right? So we can specify the type as A, and let me reload it. So now you see that the list is being numbered as ABC, right? Suppose I want to use Roman numbers, I'll specify I over here. So it is going to number the items in Roman numbers. And if I want to use capital alphabets, I'll use capital A, and when I reload it, you can see that this is what is being shown over here. Similarly, if I want to change the type for my unordered list, I want to make use of square instead of bullet. I'll specify the type as square. So this is how you can make use of attributes to define additional characteristics for your tag. Now let's take a look at the anatomy of an HTML tag. So suppose we have the h1 tag. So let us consider the example of the h1 tag. So this is known as the opening tag, and you close a tag with this /, and whatever comes in between the opening tag and the closing tag, that is known as the content. And collectively, the combination of opening tag, the closing tag, and the content, that is referred to as an HTML element. Speaking of elements, there are different types of elements. Another category of elements are void elements, which do not require a closing tag. Suppose I want to show a visible distinction between the list of fruits and vegetables. What I can do over here is that I can add a horizontal rule over here, which will add a horizontal line, and we can see a clear difference between the list of fruits and the list of vegetables. So this is an example of a void element which does not require a closing tag, and it is also an example of a replaced element, since this tag has been replaced by a graphical interface. So the tags that we had looked at so far, these are all non-replaced elements, right? So whatever content we were specifying, that was being shown as it is on the web page. But when we made use of the HR tag, the tag got actually replaced by some GUI. Another example of a replaced tag is the input tag. So it has the type attribute. So there are different types of inputs available, such as text, date, number, and so on. Let's save this, and now you can see an input tag over here. We can specify a placeholder attribute to it, and suppose I want to show the placeholder text, enter your name. So it will show this placeholder text before you actually start typing your name over here. We'll take a look at the image tag now, which is another example of a void element. So we'll type img, hit tab, and it accepts a source attribute, and you can give the path of the image over here, which is on your machine, or you can give the link to an image, and it also has a alt attribute. So let's display the image of a vegetable, and we'll get the image from Google. So I have searched vegetable over here. Let me click on this image, right click on it, and copy the image address, paste the image address over here, and in the alt we will specify vegetables. I'll just explain you the use of alt in a bit. Go back to our page, reload, and here you can see that the image of vegetable is visible over here. In case there is an issue while loading this image, suppose I type the path incorrectly, reload it, whatever we specify in the alt attribute, that is being displayed instead of the broken image. Let's move on to the anchor tag, which allows us to link one page to the next. So we define the anchor tag by typing a, and it accepts a href attribute, and here you specify the path of the page to which you want to add a link. So here I have a second.html page. So we'll specify second.html over here, and we'll close this, and here we will specify the text go to the second page. Let me save this and get rid of this, reload, and now you can see we have a link to go to the second page. If we examine the contents of the second page, it has a heading, second page, and there's another link over here which says go back to the first page. Let's click on go to second page, and now you can see that it has opened the second page over here. If you notice over here, it has replaced the contents of this tab with the contents of the second page. Now suppose what we would like to do is we want to open the page but in a new tab. So for that, what we can do is we can add a target attribute over here and specify its value as blank. So now when we click on go to second page, it has opened the second page in a new tab. And similarly, when we go to the second page, the link that we have added over here, it also has this target blank attribute. When you click on this link, it will open the first page in a new tab. Okay, so this is how you can link one page to another page. You can also add external links. Suppose I want to add a link for google.com. What I can do over here is add another anchor tag over here, specify the value of href as google.com, and set the target to blank if I want to open it in a new tab. Let's save this, reload our page, click on go to Google, and now it has opened google.com in a new tab. With the knowledge of these basic tags, we can now start building simple websites. You can help me grow by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. If you wish to receive notifications about any new content from this channel, hit the bell icon.